Morning all. Day 15. Today we are leaving Lake Argyle here and following the road all the way down to Halls Creek, which I believe is just under 400 kilometres just here. So we're going to go through Kununurra down to Halls Creek. And that'll be day 15. Catch you on the road. Bye for now. We've left our overnight accommodation, ridden 1.5 kilometres down to the Lake Argyle Dam wall. And Christopher was telling me last night after he spoke to his friend Google that Lake Argyle has 10 times the water capacity of Sydney Harbour. Incredible. No. Right, Christopher, I believe you spoke to your friend Google last night. Tell me about Lake Argyle.
Well, actually, I spoke to Smart Chat GPT, but he told me that this lake finished in the 1970s, dams the Ord River, which is directly behind me, to such an extent that even in dry times, it's 10 times the size at Sydney Harbour, or 1,000 square kilometres. During flood times, it doubles to 20 times Sydney Harbour, or 2,000 square kilometres. So it's the largest inland freshwater lake in Australia, and it's not used.
Well, Christopher, I can rely on you to be full of it. Information, that is.
Thank you.
Right, Mr. Dixon, when we left Lake Argyle, you were tail end Charlie. And you got dropped. We had to pull over and wait for you. Can you give me an explanation as to your tardiness?
Well, it was nothing to do with being slow or distracted. It was being a 10 out of 10 tail end Charlie when bits and pieces started to fall off a nameless motorcycle in our convoy. Right. Therefore, I pulled over, picked up the first item, tied it to my bike.
Which was?
2Ks, which was a bike cover. Went 2Ks down the road and discovered a nice jacket lying in the middle of the road as well. So I thought it best if I picked that up as opposed to sending said member backwards 20Ks to pick these things up. So,
right. So you weren't being slow or tardy?
I was not being slow, and I expect a free ice cream or something at some point during this journey to make up for me being a 10 out of 10 tail end Charlie.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Very well. Now, just to be clear, the items you picked up weren't for the photographer, being me. Is that correct? They weren't.
Okay, they were for a somewhat older red bike that the photographer used to own, but is not in his possession any longer. Therefore, is exempt from any blame from things falling onto the road.
Oh, here he comes now, the guilty culprit, the man who doesn't know how to tie his gear on the bike. Yes, Christopher.
Well, at least he knows which is his bike. He doesn't go to someone else's bike.
Now I'm going to pause the video right now before things get out of hand.